talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It is gone. It is bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Chaos Chris, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
I'm genuinely trying to figure out what Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania has that's good. Sheetz sucks. The Steelers suck. The Pirates suck. Your hockey team sucks. I don't watch hockey, so I really don't know. But who even is your hockey team? The Penguins? That's how irrelevant they are because nobody knows who they are. But yeah, man, Pittsburgh, you guys stink. You guys are terrible. I say that now, but I'm fully expecting to get absolutely obliterated by Paul Skeens tomorrow. So Just saying. And plus, we got Mick Abel on the mound, which he's making his MLB debut tomorrow. So we got a rookie on the mound for us tomorrow. I'm fully expecting to lose that game, but we still won the series nonetheless. So, I mean, I'll take it. But what's up, everybody? Eric, also known as Shard, here with the Phillies post-game show on the 302 Birds channel. And Dalt, man, what a dominant win. It looked great up until that ninth inning. Tanner Banks came in, let up a 2-run bomb. But, I mean, other than that, everybody pretty much did their job.
Yeah, Stott and Harper. And to anybody that wants to say that Stott should not be in that leadoff spot, I would say go check yourself into a doctor. Because ever since the Phillies have put Bryson Stott in that leadoff spot, he has been humming all year long. Like, he's just found his role. He's really found a rhythm. And it's great to see Bryson kind of develop into this new role for the Phillies. I know for a long time, we were all complaining about the daycare being like, hey, when would one of these three, right? When would one of these three guys break out? And Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm, and Brandon Marsh. Now, it's kind of funny because one's gone really well in Stott. One's gone, you could say some days good, some days bad, in Alec Boehm. And one's gone pretty arguably bad, you would argue, in Brandon Marsh. So you win some, you lose some. But overall, great game from Stott. Good to see him bounce back. Same thing with Harper. He had 2 hits I saw, so good from him. And same with Turner. Turner had a hit, and I believe he scored.
Yeah, I mean, everybody pretty much for the most part tonight looked great. Everybody other than Kepler had a hit, but I mean, he still walked, so I'll take it. But we'll get into it all. So first thing I kind of want to take a look at and talk about, we also have a guest backstage before I forget to mention, but we'll bring him on in a minute. First thing I want to talk about is the pitching report. Pitching overall looked great. Zach Wheeler looked absolutely dominant once again. He's 5-1 on the season. Just absolutely dominant performance from him. But looking at his stat sheet, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. ERA is a 2.67. Again, looked absolutely dominant. He was painting the zone, not letting anybody really advance off of him. He would get a couple guys that, were on base, but he would get out of it. And look, man, I mean, I know we weren't on the show last night. Everybody had a couple things going on. And the big news, I don't think we've talked about it on the show yet, is that Aaron Nola's on the IL for 15 days with an ankle sprain. And I'm going to say this, I don't wish injury on anybody. I don't wish injury on a player. I don't wish injury on, rival teams, whatever. But I'm going to say this because we're going to talk about it here in a few minutes with Mick Abel coming up. It's about damn time that they did something with Nola. You could just tell that he has been off this entire season. Just has not lived up to his start. He's 1-7 on the season, absolutely terrible. And I'm really, really glad and really, really, I guess, grateful in a sense that they finally decided, hey, we're going to shut you down for a little bit, and you need to figure out what's going on. What's going on with you and your ankle? Because really, I mean, anytime a pitcher is pitching, they're getting power off of those feet. So for him not to have his ankle really was just throwing up his velocity, throwing off his control. And personally, I think it's a phantom injury. I just don't think it's a real injury. I think it's them shutting him down because he is so terrible. But hey, like, bring Mick Abel up for a start. Let him start tomorrow. And then send him back down, see what he's got. But again, I think that Zach Wheeler did really great tonight, followed by Matt Strahm. He went an inning pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Hernandez came in. He looked great. He actually didn't shit the bed for once. 1 inning pitch, no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. And then Tanner Banks. I mean, Banks came in. He closed. He got the job done in the end. He still let up 2 runs off of a bomb, 1 hit, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, let up a home run. So I think, again, and I say this, I feel like every single show, there's going to be something done at the trade deadline. I can't exactly put my finger on it. I do think that Dave Dombrowski, which it's not going to be a big splash. I'm telling you guys now, it's not. It's going to be either some guy that's in AAA, prospects, whatever. I do think Dave Dombrowski makes a move at the trade deadline for the bullpen. I don't know what that's going to look like, whether it's going to be a big name or not. I doubt it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get Craig Kimbrell to come back from the Braves. He's stuck in AAA right now, and I think that would be the most hilarious fucking thing if he came back, Dalt.
Kimbrell, as I just put in the chat, you got to add the L and capitalize it on the end because, yeah, that would be fun. I think my biggest thing with this team is Wheeler. I just want to talk about for a second because Wheeler's been so impressive. We'll get to Nola in a second. Like you said, the Phillies kind of, shipping him down and seeing what that does because of the quote-unquote ankle injury. But scoreless start today for Zach Wheeler, 6 strikeouts. And I also saw online, it was his 1,700th career strikeout. So that's awesome for him. If you want to talk about all-time Philadelphia Philly, he's really going to go down on the list because he's provided the Phillies with years of consistency. Like I saw, shout out to our guys, the Next Network, not to relate this to NFL, but you guys know how I am. My guys, they're Ravens fans, and they took the picture of Mekhi Becton crying after the Super Bowl, and they said, what player do you want to see that had that championship moment this year? Like that crying, that realizing, all this work was worth it. If there's one Philadelphia Philly that I want to see have that moment, it's probably Zach Wheeler. I love Bryce Harper, don't get me wrong. I love Casty, don't get me wrong. Love Schwarber, love Turner. Want to see all those guys get a ring. Same with the daycare. But Zach Wheeler, and same with Nola too, but really Zach Wheeler has been Mr. Reliable Superman for the Philadelphia Phillies. So if there's one guy that I think has earned it over the past couple of years, it's really him. And time in and time out, he's reliable like tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. But we do have another guy backstage. I do want to get his opinion. Unfortunately, he's a hybrid fan. Chiefs, Phillies, don't understand why. But Ryan, my brother, my blood brother related, what's going on? What did you think of Zach Wheeler tonight? What did you think of his dominant performance? And what's your take?
Wheeler honestly has been doing good. There's no haters to him, but to be honest, Aaron Nola, since we're talking about him, he sucks. He just throws meatballs. I'm glad he's on IL, even though, like you said, we shouldn't wish injury. If anything, just bring up Andrew Painter at this point.
So I do agree with you there. I do agree in the sense that they do need to bring up Andrew Painter, but I also, while we're on this topic, I don't want to rush it either. His last start in Lehigh Valley. I'm going to pull it up now just because I can't remember off the top of my head. But looking at his last start, he went, let me pull it up here. So last start, game log. There's no game log apparently for Andrew Painter on the MILB website, which is stupid. See if it's on this site. Yeah, they don't have stats for him. That's actually crazy. I don't understand why. There's no game log. Oh, here we go. So he went April. No, I lied. Yeah, they don't have any stats from him for Lehigh Valley, which is actually crazy. But I'm going to say this. I don't want to rush Painter. I think he's good. I don't think he's ready. I think he still needs some live pitching at Lehigh. His last start, I believe he only pitched about 78 pitches, let up 2 runs, had a couple strikeouts, had a couple walks. So I still think he needs some time to really tailor things, to work things out. But yeah, I think the pitching's fine right now. I'm curious to see how Mick Abel does tomorrow, but we'll get into that. But, sorry, guys. I keep burping. I got the burps. Got a case of the burps. So, but looking at the batting report, everybody tonight other than Kepler had a hit. And, I mean, Kepler still had a walk, so he worked a pitch count. But for the most part, I mean, I know we've been trying to go into just notable guys, and we'll continue to do that. But I feel like everybody tonight was kind of notable, especially – but I can't speak tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Stott, 2 for 5, accounted for 2 runs, 3 RBI. He had a home run. He hit a double to score some runs, and he just looked incredible tonight. Absolutely on fire. Turner, 1 for 5. Harper, he looks like he's slowly getting back to his old self, 2 for 3 with 1 RBI. Schwarber, 1 for 4 with 1 RBI. He hit a double to drive in some runs. I think if it's not tomorrow, it'll be sometime in this next week that he finally reaches that 300 home run threshold. He's right there. I know tonight, Ryan, I was texting you and you had said that Kyle Schwarber was irritating you just with the way he was swinging. And I really think it's just because he's trying to swing for the fence. He knows mentally that he's right there. He's right at that 300 mark. And I mean, honestly, if I was him and I'm at that mark where I'm about to cross another 100, I'd be trying to swing for the fences too. I really want to see him get that, because I mean, it's a huge milestone for him, and it's only going to add to his resume this offseason when we go to extend him, because every waking moment that you're waiting, that Dave Dombrowski is not sitting down with Kyle with a contract in front of him, it's more money. It's more zeros at the end of that check. So I do think that they need to extend Kyle Schwarber here in the next couple of weeks before he gets to June. And we all know what happens in June. I mean, he's already at 14, 15 home runs. He's probably going to get to close to almost 30 by the end of June. I wouldn't be surprised. Probably unrealistic, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, other than that, everybody kind of had a hit. So everybody's kind of notable. I'm not going to go through the full list, but other than that, great overall showing by the Phillies. They were slow at the plate with not being able to chase. They were being patient. They were just overall great showing. So, Ryan, what did you think of the overall batting tonight, dude?
1 inning where it was 2 outs. They did pretty good. And what made me laugh was when it was Bohm and I think Marsh when they went. It was when I think Stott hit the ball towards like the left field, and then they just started running after each other.
Yeah, I mean, they were literally I know exactly what you're talking about. Marsh was like literally right behind Bohm because for whatever reason, Bohm was just taking forever, and Marsh was just kind of behind him, like telling him, like, dude, run, like, let's go, let's both score. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Bohm had hit that double. So yeah, I mean, I think just overall, the team as a whole is playing better. I think they are starting to get hot. I know Rob Thompson, I was watching part of the post-game show. That's why we were a little bit late tonight with our show. But the Phillies post-game show I was watching, and they interviewed Rob Thompson, and they had asked him, they said, do you think this Phillies team is off to as good of a start as last year? And he was just straight up with reporters. He said, I'm going to be honest with you, no. He was like, we're not off to a hot start as last year. He was like, we're off to a good start, don't get me wrong. But he's like, I'd like to see this team get a little bit hotter. He was like, I think we're in a good spot right now. We're heating up. We are putting wins on the board. We're winning series. But he did say that he does want to see this team kind of live up to their expectations. I think as of right now, they're on pace for 97, 98. So I believe last year, Phillies 2024 record, I think they won 96. They won 95 last year. So they're still on pace to beat their record last year. And we'll see. Sorry, guys. I keep burping. I'm so burpy today. My bad. But I do think that if they can beat their record last year, I'll be happy with that. If they don't win the division, I'd like to see them beat their record from last year. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if they'll win the division. We're still 1.5 games back from the Mets. So we need the Mets to kind of dip. Phillies go up. And at the end of the day, it's all a race, and it's basically like pulling teeth. So we'll see what happens with that. But getting into the star of the game, for me, obviously, Bryson Stott. I just think that he's absolutely on fire. Like Dalt had said earlier, I do think he's your leadoff guy. I think that Rob Thompson has finally found your guy to lead off. You have two guys with great speed to start out this rotation. You have Bryson Stott followed by Trey Turner. You get both of them on base, and then Harper or Kyle can come up and hit a bomb. We've seen it in the past couple games. But yeah, Stott, 2 for 5 tonight, 2 runs accounted for, 3 RBI, only 1 strikeout. His average is a .263. He made some great defensive plays, turned some double plays, and I just think that, again, he is your leadoff guy. Either one of you want to add to that, your star of the game?
Agree. I think the biggest thing with him is he's mentally in a better place since he started leading off, whether it be defensively or whether it be batting wise. And batting wise is huge for the Phillies because we've talked about all season long how you were just alluding to, Shard. This team has an extra gear that they haven't kicked into yet. And they have stuff that they're more capable of that they can do. And that's why as fans, even when they're winning series, even when they're winning 4 out of 5 games, you know what I mean? Or 4 out of 5 series, rather, like playing very good baseball, we're still like, you know what? They're capable of more. So I feel like Stott's kind of setting the example. But I think for him, it's this thing of, okay, mentally, he doesn't have as much pressure on him because he can go up there and be like, nobody's on base. Just get it out early. If I strike out, so be it. But if I get on base, it's even better because we know how dangerous Stott is on base, that he can convert runs, he can steal bases, he can do dangerous things like that. But my favorite thing about it is just mentally, he's so much more in tune. And that makes me happy as a fan because baseball's such a sport where mentally you got to be in the right funk. We've seen it time and time again with Bryce Harper, with Alec Boehm, with Brandon Marsh, now with Stott. Good and bad. This time, it just happens to be really, really good. So shout out to Stott for improving his game and working on it. But I'm probably going to head out after that. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you. And I like how Dot brought that up. I will say this. With the whole thing with him changing his mentality and him being dangerous on the base path, he is 9 for 9 in stolen bases so far. He has not been caught so far this season. So I do agree with Dalt there in the sense that his mentality just seems like it's been changed. I know he became a father this offseason, so maybe it's dad power. But yeah, I think that Stott, for the most part, is my player of the game. Ryan, what would you say for your player, your star of the game?
I think he's the star of the game, to be honest. He's been better than last season. He's not striking out. He's actually hitting the ball. And overall, I just think because of that ad he did, he's actually getting his free hoagies now.
Yeah, man, I saw that in the off season with the Primo Hoagies, with him being their spokesperson, and what is it? He asked the girl, he's like, "Did you say free hoagies?" And I've seen so many edits lately with that commercial. But yeah, I think he's finally coming into his role. I think he's finally found where he belongs on this Phillies team, with leading off, with playing second base. I know originally when they had brought him up, he was playing shortstop, and then we got Trey Turner, so they moved him. But I still think that Bryson Stott, if it's not this year, I would be really surprised. But I still think he's a Gold Glove player. I really think he's going to be a finalist for Gold Glove this year. He almost was last year, but he didn't win. He's really been impressive both at the plate and defensively. But on the flip side, with our star comes our clown of the game. And for me, it's Brandon Marsh. I know that he had a hit tonight. I know that he scored a run, but I'm going to say this. Every time I watch Brandon Marsh play center field and I see a ball coming off the bat that is, in my opinion, like easily catchable. Like, I posted the clip on TikTok and I've already had a couple people say, well, why don't you do it? Why don't you try to catch the ball? You probably couldn't catch it. He can't catch it. I'm going to say this, right? In my opinion, I think that was a very easily caught ball. You look at the way that the Pirates hitter caught the ball, or sorry, not caught the ball, hit the ball at the batter's box, and he knew it wasn't out. He knew that the ball was going to be caught. And for Marsh to be as slow as he was and then try to slide to catch the ball, like, I've seen this so many games previously where he's running in and he makes an unnecessary slide and the ball just goes not in his glove. And I just think if he keeps running hard, he puts his glove up where the ball's going to be, he'll catch it. But again, he's just making these dumb decisions where he's trying to do too much. He's trying to slide. He's trying to dive. He's trying to put himself on the line to catch these balls. And I just don't think it's necessary. I think Rojas is your everyday center fielder. He has the better speed. He has the better athleticism. And I can't stand Brandon Marsh in center field. I really think that he needs to be benched. I think Rojas is your center fielder. And granted, it didn't let up a run, but it could have. And I'm just tired of these stupid mistakes from Brandon Marsh. So he's definitely going to be my clown of the game tonight. Ryan, what say you?
I totally agree, to be honest. Why is he even in center field? Just put him back at left field and then just put on Rojas. And honestly, Marsh is like the guy that just says, "Hi, my name's Brandon Marsh. I just like to slide." Whee! Like, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. So I will say this. I mean, the reason that they're not playing Marsh in left field like they did last year is because they got Kepler, and Kepler's playing every day, which I don't mind as long as Kepler's getting hits. But I do think that you need to kind of platoon Marsh and Kepler, play Marsh a couple games, then play Kepler a couple games, have Rojas again start every game in center field. He is a better player than Brandon Marsh right now. I don't understand why Rob Thompson just relies too much on analytics. I get it, righty versus lefty pitcher, but I think it's absolutely stupid. I think it's one mistake that you're making that's going to cost this team down the line, where Brandon Marsh is going to be in center field and somebody's going to come up to the plate and hit a walk-off because Brandon Marsh can't catch a ball. So I just think that this team really needs to take a step back and look at their center field players, look at really who needs to be there every day. And if they need to make a trade at the trade deadline, you do so. But getting into our looking ahead, this was some interesting news, especially coming into this weekend. Again, Mick Abel is going to make his MLB debut. The Phillies have not had a debut so far this season. This is their first. Every other team in the MLB has had a guy from their AAA farm that they've called up to make their debut, other than the Phillies. So the Phillies are going to, like I said, have their debut with Mick Abel tomorrow. However, I will say this. I am a little bit worried because Paul Skeens is on the other side of that. And Paul Skeens is, I know I kind of talked bad on Pittsburgh in the beginning, but this is me giving you praise now. Paul Skeens is by far one of the best pitchers that we've seen in a while, just in general. His fastball is just phenomenal. He has nasty stuff. He got selected for Team USA to be their starting pitcher. I'm sure he's going to be selected for the All-Star game to start the All-Star game as well. So I really do think that it's going to be a test for these Phillies tomorrow. And I'm glad that we won these first two. So that way, if we do lose tomorrow, it's not that big of a deal because, again, Paul Skeens really is that guy. He is that pitcher that is going to possibly eat us up. And Mick Abel is making his debut. He's going to be nervous. He's going to be a little bit shaky. I don't know if he's going to have control or command of his pitches. Looking at the game logs, again, like, I'm not lying to you guys. I want to show you this because I'm not crazy. There's no game logs. Why are there no game logs for these guys? Is it because it's not showing major league stuff? Like, I'm really confused. Like, there's nothing here. Actually annoying. But yeah, I really want to see Mick Abel do well tomorrow. But if he doesn't, let him go an inning or two, and if he blows it, pull him, and we'll just have a bullpen game. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he has to do. I don't know. But Paul Skeens, right-handed pitcher, 3-4 on the season, 2.63 ERA with 53 strikeouts against Mick Abel. Right-handed pitcher, 0-0 on the season, no ERA, 0 strikeouts. So he's going to pitch tomorrow. Then he's going to get sent back down depending on what happens with Aaron Nola. And then we go into the Rockies Stadium, and we all know how that usually plays out. Either we win or we lose there. But on Monday, we go to Coors Field. It's an 8:40 start. Every game in the Rockies series, us playing against the Rockies, is at 8:40. But they're 7-37 on the season, so I'm not too sure how that's going to play out. It's Christopher Sanchez, then Jesus Luzardo, then Taijuan Walker. Rockies haven't announced any of their pitchers yet, so we will keep you updated with that. And on that note, that's all we have for you guys tonight. Phillies win 5-2. They win the series against the Pittsburgh Pirate, and they proved that Wawa is better than Sheetz. Ryan, appreciate you hopping on as always. And on that note, roll the outro.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive.